Sheamus to forcibly make unlikely Ellie to help in his match on WWE Raw? Chances explored. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Sheamus reignited his feud with Ludwig Kaiser a couple of weeks ago, and the two superstars will fight this Monday on Raw. It will be the Celtic Warrior's first appearance on Raw on Netflix, and it remains to be seen whether it will give him some momentum going forward. What will be interesting to see is whether the reigning Intercontinental Champion, Bron Breakker, gets involved, since he has unfinished business with both superstars. On the December 16 episode of Raw, Breakker defeated Ludwig Kaiser and retained his title. So this time, he could interfere in the match and distract the Imperium star to help Sheamus win. The two superstars could then work together for a while against Kaiser, who would be out for revenge. However, this alliance should be brief, since WWE Creative would likely give the Celtic Warrior another title opportunity against Bron Breakker. Sheamus opens up about the difficulty of winning the Intercontinental Championship. During his tenure with WWE, Sheamus has accomplished nearly everything. He has won major championships and nearly every title he has competed for. He is considered one of the best wrestlers in the company. The thing that he has failed to do is become the Intercontinental Champion. In an interview with Chris Van Vliet, he referred to the difficulty he has in winning this title and explained why he calls it a curse. It's the IC curse of the Celtic Warrior. It's the one thing I can't win. The irony is that it's the first title I really became focused on because Macho Man was in a feud with Ricky Steamboat over it. So when I started watching, Macho Man was the first IC champion. So the one title that I was exposed to as a fan is the one I can't win, which has become this kind of crusade, but it's definitely an IC curse for me, Sheamus said. It has been 6 weeks since the former world champion last had a shot at the Intercontinental Championship, losing to Bron Breakker in a triple threat match with Ludwig Kaiser at Survivor Series on November 30. In the unpredictable and ever-shifting world of WWE, alliances and rivalries are often the lifeblood of compelling storylines. Wrestlers who once stood opposed to one another may find themselves in situations where forming an alliance is necessary, and the reasons behind such alliances can be as varied as the superstars themselves. One such scenario currently unfolding in WWE is the possibility of Sheamus, the Celtic Warrior, being forced to seek an unlikely ally to help him in an upcoming match on WWE Raw. Known for his rugged fighting style, unrelenting toughness, and dominant presence, Sheamus has built a reputation as a fierce competitor who thrives on physicality. However, even the toughest warriors sometimes need backup, and it seems that Sheamus might soon find himself in a position where an unexpected alliance could become his best option. Sheamus' career in WWE has been marked by numerous ups and downs, with many peaks of success and a few valleys where he faced adversity. A multi-time WWE champion, former Intercontinental Champion, and tag team specialist, Sheamus has seen it all in the squared circle. From his dominant run at the top to his occasional falls from grace, Sheamus has always found a way to stay relevant and bounce back. But now, in the midst of a high-stakes rivalry, the idea of him forming an unlikely partnership has become a topic of great interest among WWE fans and experts alike. It's not uncommon for WWE superstars to team up when the situation calls for it. But when someone like Sheamus is involved, it raises the question: who would he align with and why? In exploring this scenario, it's essential to take a look at Sheamus' current situation and the context that could lead to such a desperate, yet potentially strategic, move. WWE Raw has been home to some of the most intense and high-profile rivalries in recent memory, and Sheamus has found himself embroiled in several of them. Most recently, he has been part of a feud that has escalated to the point where it seems like he will need help to overcome the odds stacked against him. Whether it's a multi-man match, a tag team situation, or a specific storyline that calls for outside assistance, the potential for Sheamus to forge a partnership with someone outside of his usual allies is real. This situation is further complicated by the fact that Sheamus is not known for relying on others. His solitary nature and the intensity of his character often lead him to take on challenges alone, but as the circumstances change, he may be forced to reconsider his role in this possibility is the sheer strength of Sheamus' current enemies. In recent weeks, Sheamus has been involved in a heated rivalry with some of the most dangerous and ruthless wrestlers in WWE. Whether it's a series of confrontations with another powerhouse wrestler, a bitter feud with a rival faction, or being placed in a situation where he's outnumbered, Sheamus could find himself in need of backup to level the playing field. This is where the idea of an unlikely alliance comes into play. In the world of WWE, some of the best and most memorable storylines have come from partnerships that no one expected to see, and Sheamus' situation might very well mirror this. While it may be hard to imagine Sheamus aligning himself with someone who's been an adversary in the past, the nature of WWE storylines often leads to surprising twists. One potential partner for Sheamus could be someone who shares a similar fighting style or attitude, but who isn't typically associated with him in terms of alliances. Think about the possibility of Sheamus teaming up with someone like Drew McIntyre, a fellow powerhouse wrestler with a similar background in fighting and a no-nonsense approach to competition. While McIntyre and Sheamus have both shared the spotlight in the past, their individual paths have often taken them in different directions. However, if the storyline demands it, the two could easily find themselves working together. Both men have experienced the highs and lows of WWE, and their combined power and tenacity would make them a formidable force. The idea of two Irishmen coming together to tackle a common enemy could certainly strike a chord with fans, offering a fresh take on their relationship and providing new layers to their characters. Another possible ally for Sheamus could be someone who is completely opposite in terms of character and fighting style. Take, for example, someone like Sami Zayn, a crafty and conniving superstar who thrives on his intelligence and manipulative tactics. While Sheamus and Sami Zayn couldn't be more different in terms of in-ring approach and personalities, an alliance between them would create a fascinating dynamic. Sheamus, the brute force of WWE, could find himself in a situation where Zayn's cleverness and cunning could complement his own raw power. The pairing of Sheamus' strength and Sami Zayn's strategic mind could be the key to overcoming a particularly difficult opponent or faction. WWE has often utilized such contrasts to create compelling television, and the unpredictability of such an alliance could add significant intrigue to the feud. But beyond just individual wrestlers, another element to consider is the ever-present possibility of Sheamus being thrust into an alliance with a faction. Whether it's an established group like the Judgment Day or a faction yet to be fully formed, teaming up with a larger unit could provide Sheamus the backing he needs to overcome his rivals. While Sheamus has historically been a solo act, there have been moments in his career where he's shown an ability to work within a group dynamic. Factions often have a way of elevating their members, and if Sheamus were to join forces with a larger group, it could add another layer to his character. A faction-based alliance would also open the door to a more intricate story, with Sheamus finding himself caught between loyalty to his new allies and his desire for personal glory. However, the prospect of Sheamus teaming up with someone, whether it's Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, or a faction, raises an interesting question. What would this alliance mean for Sheamus' character moving forward? Sheamus has always been portrayed as a tough, no-nonsense competitor who relies on his own strength and willpower to achieve success. An alliance, especially one with an unlikely partner, could either make or break his character. On one hand, it could show a more vulnerable side to Sheamus, highlighting the fact that even the toughest warriors sometimes need help. On the other hand, it could create an opportunity for Sheamus to grow as a strategist, showing that he's not just a physical force, but also someone who knows when to adapt and think ahead. The dynamic of this alliance, whether it's temporary or long-lasting, would certainly add depth to Sheamus' character, potentially setting him up for new opportunities and rivalries in the future. One thing to consider is how the WWE Universe would respond to such an alliance. Sheamus has a loyal fan base that admires his toughness, and his credibility as a top-tier talent could be at risk if he's seen as relying too heavily. Fans have been known to be fiercely critical when it comes to how wrestlers are booked, especially when it involves shifts in character or alliances. While an alliance could make for compelling storylines, it's crucial for WWE to strike the right balance in how they present Sheamus' partnership with an unlikely ally. If done correctly, it could elevate Sheamus and his new ally, but if handled poorly, it could potentially harm his reputation as an indomitable force in the ring. It's also worth noting the potential for Sheamus to evolve as a character through this alliance. WWE is known for pushing boundaries and exploring new avenues for its superstars, and this storyline could mark the beginning of a new chapter for Sheamus. The idea of him forming a bond with someone unexpected could give fans a fresh perspective on his motivations, his character arc, and his future in WWE. Whether it's through overcoming a common adversary or learning the value of teamwork, Sheamus' potential alliance could serve as a catalyst for his continued growth as a superstar. At the end of the day, the idea of Sheamus forming an unlikely alliance for his match on WWE Raw is filled with exciting possibilities. While the specifics of such an alliance remain unclear, the very concept opens up a world of creative opportunities for WWE writers, Sheamus himself, and the fans who follow his journey. The Celtic Warrior has proven time and again that he is one of the most resilient and capable superstars in WWE, and even if he were to join forces with someone unexpected, it would only serve to add new layers to his already multifaceted character. As the storyline unfolds, fans will be eagerly watching to see who Sheamus might team up with, how the alliance develops, and what the future holds for the Celtic Warrior in the ever-evolving landscape of WWE. Whether he's standing alone or teaming up with an unlikely partner, one thing is for certain: Sheamus will always be a force to be reckoned with. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updated news.